everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Charlotte and this channel is primarily about our adventures in Florida at the Disney parks, Universal, even SeaWorld, Discovery Cove, all those places. There's also some lifestyle vlogs, shopping vlogs and just a lot of fun. So be sure to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content because there's always more fun to be had. So today's video is just going to be a bit of a rundown, kind of a review, any tips and tricks that we picked up along the way about our most recent trip to Orlando, Florida. If you've watched that series, you'll know it took place in February of this year, 2023. We went over the February half term, which is great. If you don't know, I have a daughter, she's 7, her name's Paisley, so we are kind of confined by school timings and half term and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, February is a great time to go. It's the second time we've actually been at this time of year, the first of which being last year, 2022. We went for 2 weeks on a big family trip, which was amazing. This year we did just go for 1 week. We got a deal with British Airways, so it was a full holiday package for 7 nights or 7 days, whatever it's worked out on. And yeah, February is really nice. It's not overly busy, which is always good in the parks, and the weather spot on, literally so nice. It was about 25 degrees most days. We had a few warmer days, which were maybe like 27, 28 degrees, and 1 chilly day. But it was okay. Overall, it was lovely, and I would definitely recommend February as a time to visit Orlando if you are considering the time of year to go. You've got Mardi Gras on at Universal, you've got the 7 Seas Food Festival on at SeaWorld, the Festival of the Arts over at Epcot at Disney World. It's just a really nice time to visit. As I said, we had a package with British Airways, so we obviously flew with BA. We went from London Gatwick to Orlando International Airport, and if you don't know, British Airways has within the last kind of 8-9 months started flying into Terminal C, which is the brand new terminal at Orlando Airport. I personally really like it. I know that Aer Lingus also fly into Terminal C. Virgin is still using the old terminal, which is fine as well. It's all nostalgic over there with the little monorail and the carpet and everything, but I really like BA and Terminal C. I think all the airlines are kind of the same. Everyone has their favourite. For me, as long as it's going to get me there safely and securely at a good price, then I'm happy to fly with whoever. For us, that has been BA recently, which has worked quite nicely because once you get kind of a few flights in with a particular airline, you start to get air miles, and with BA it's Avios, and we've got a nice little collection growing, which is always good. The planes are fairly recently refurbished the last few years, so they're modern and nice, and the entertainment is really good as well. I think it was Paramount that was on a lot of the in-flight entertainment bills, a lot of series, a lot of movies, really good, staff are good, and the snack, guys, they always used to do a sandwich like towards the end of the flight. It was always something weird like coronation chicken or salmon. Like, why can you not do a cheese and ham or something like we can all enjoy? But this time, and we went back in September, it was a pizza wrap, and my life was revolutionized because I've never made a pizza wrap. It was insane, literally, legit, loved it. And the air hostess gave us 2 because we recognized her from our last flight. She was lovely. Pizza wrap was lovely. I was greedy, and that was excellent. Loved it. Terminal C, bright, open, like really fresh, modern and new. Getting your bags is so quick, and then you're just out. It's a lot less busy than Terminal, I think it's Terminal, is it Terminal B that Virgin and BA like used to go into? Like the traditional terminal, we all know there can be long lines at immigration and at bag collection, but Terminal C just seems to be quite a lot quicker. I know some people have had issues with car hire because a lot of the car hire, especially when the terminal first opened, was back over at terminals A and B, so you had to then get like a shuttle over there to get your car, which would be mighty annoying. But for us, we've just been using Ubers, so we haven't got any experience on that. I do believe some car hires are now available at Terminal C, so definitely look into that if you're flying into that terminal, because I think it'd be a surprise if you didn't know you had to then get your cases and then get on a shuttle and then go over to another terminal and just it's just an extra element to factor in, so look into that if you're renting a car for sure. On this particular trip, we stayed at Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort. It was my second time staying there, but first time as like a full trip in one place. I've stayed there before on the odd night where we've had a primarily Disney holiday and then a few nights at Universal, but this time was just Cabana Bay. We chose it because it's really good value. For one, the Universal like more value resorts such as Cabana Bay, Aventura, Dockside and Surfside are such good value. Like, it's insane the deals you can get considering they're on site at Universal. It's brilliant, so definitely would recommend those. Keep an eye out on packages and just getting those resorts because they're amazing. They're also clean and lovely, modern and fresh. I actually prefer the Universal value resorts over the Disney World value resorts, which is saying something, and the Disney ones are a lot more expensive usually as well. But we chose Cabana Bay this time because it's got a really good family vibe. It was perfect for myself, my partner Rob, and for Paisley. I think I mentioned before, she's 7. She absolutely loves the pool, and there's a lazy river there at Cabana Bay as well, so we enjoyed a lot of that. There's a lot of families around, so it has a nice family feel. Rob and I stayed at Aventura back in September, October last year for Halloween Horror Nights. That's a much more grown-up kind of hotel. It was perfect for like a couple's trip, but definitely for families I liked Cabana Bay. The room was nice. It is carpeted, which is odd. Like Aventura is wooden floors. A lot of the Disney resorts are going over to wooden floors, but who cares really? That's the only thing I would say. I would have preferred it to have wooden floor. It just feels cleaner than carpet. But the room was absolutely fine. 2 big double beds, big window, nice views over Orlando. Absolutely perfect. It's a big resort. We stayed in the Americana building, which is one of the closer ones to the lobby and to Bayliner Diner, the food court. I would recommend requesting either Americana, or there's one on the other side as well. It might be called Castaway. Basically, there's 2 like buildings either side of the lobby, and they're the closest to most of the amenities. So if you did get one of the buildings far away, I imagine those corridors would be very, very, very long at the end of a park day, as the resort is rather large. I mentioned Bayliner Diner. We ate there a few times. It's standard food court quality food. It's not amazing. Paisley didn't like the chips because they were crinkled. If you've got fussy kids. We did get the resort mug, which was very good value, and would fill that up kind of in the morning and at night. There's a Starbucks on site as well. There's bowling, there's an arcade. They do marshmallow roasting. There's actually a couple of pools. One was closed when we were there for refurb, but usually there'd be 2 main big pool areas, pool bars where you can get snacks and things as well, and food. Yeah, it's just an overall really nice resort. I would recommend it to anybody. Especially good for families. In terms of the parks that we visited this time, it was primarily a Universal trip, purely because we have annual passes for Universal Studios Resort Orlando, so it makes sense to use them and to not have to pay out for loads more tickets. But on this occasion, we did want to go to Discovery Cove to swim with dolphins. Now, the reason we wanted to do that this trip is because Paisley was old enough now. You have to be 6 or older to swim with the dolphins, and this is the first trip where she has been. She was 6 when we went. Last year she was 5 obviously. But yeah, it was amazing. We booked with Florida Ticks and it was in the Black Friday sale. I saved so much money. We had originally booked not to swim with the dolphins and just to go to Discovery Cove and enjoy the day. And then the Black Friday sale came on, which is in November, and we actually got the 3 of us with dolphin swims for cheaper than the original tickets without dolphin swims. It was such a good saving. I wish I could remember numbers. I tried to find the email to tell you guys pricing, but I just can't find it. But it was mind-blowing, the saving, absolutely insane. So be sure to keep an eye on that if you're heading out to Discovery Cove. You also get 14-day park tickets for SeaWorld and Aquatica as well with the Discovery Cove tickets. So that's amazing. Discovery Cove as a whole was beautiful. I'm so glad that we finally got to visit. It's like serene, and gorgeous, and it just feels like a paradise. It's like definitely a lot different to a lot of the other parks and even the water parks in Orlando, and it's just really amazing. All your food and drinks included. The snorkeling is incredible. It's an experience. If you haven't been to Discovery Cove, it really is a treat, and it can also be kind of used as like a rest day. If you're going for say 2 weeks in a lot of parks, it's a very relaxing, amazing day. It was a highlight of our trip, and I would definitely love to go again someday. SeaWorld was the same. SeaWorld surprised us actually. I've only been once in my life, back in like 2014, so a long time ago, nearly 10 years, that's insane. But yeah, SeaWorld was a surprising highlight of the trip. The rides over there are really, really good. Paisley's not quite tall enough for the big coasters, but there was still enough for her to do. We did enjoy some of the shows as well, and overall the park just had a nice vibe. It was more chilled than Disney and Universal, and the queue times were very, very minimal, and it was just lovely. It was nice to walk around, and I was glad that we got to go back there. As I say, we spent a lot of time at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure and Volcano Bay as well. Volcano Bay is my favourite water park in Orlando. It's so much fun. It was Paisley's first time visiting and she loved it as well. Go and check out the vlog from that day because it is a lot of fun and it shows a lot of what's available at Volcano Bay. Islands of Adventure and Universal are always amazing, literally. I love them so much. They're so like special to me now. We've mainly done Universal on our last few trips to Orlando and they're just insanely good. We had one day at Disney World and a lot of you guys had questions about that. So traditionally, for people coming over from the UK, we get 14-day tickets for the price of 7 for Walt Disney World. I think it's a bit different in the US that they don't have such a ticket type, but we only wanted the one day at Disney this time. One, to keep costs down, and two, as I say, we have our Universal annual passes and we were doing all these other parks. It was only a 7-day trip, so yeah, we had one day at Disney. I bought the ticket for Magic Kingdom from Undercover Tourist, and from memory it was around $150 each, so not too bad. I think that worked out about £130 at the time, which was a lot better than I thought it would be, in all honesty. We did also get Genie Plus for the day, just because it was one day, we wanted to make the most of it, and we had a lovely time at Magic Kingdom. It's always very special. It's such a nostalgic, magical place. I love it so much. I was so glad we managed to squeeze that into the trip. And I think if we went over to Orlando and didn't do any Disney, I would get a little bit of FOMO, but the one day is kind of like the sprinkle of magic that's needed, and that does it for me. It was my Disney box ticked and I was more than happy with that. We spent nearly a whole day there at Magic Kingdom, Ubered there in the morning. We left about 8 o'clock. Paisley's not bothered about fireworks, she doesn't really like them, and we all know what it's like getting out of Magic Kingdom after fireworks. It's a challenge, so we skipped on out just before the fireworks that day and went back to Cabana Bay. But that was wonderful as well, and I think for being there for a week, we did achieve an awful lot, like with the parks we visited, and it was just right, just the right amount of everything. If my angle just changed ever so slightly, guys, it's because my camera battery was flashing, so I've just had to change the battery. Things that we did outside of the parks. Probably my favourite was going to Pirates Cove, adventure golf. It was so much fun. Probably the best like mini golf I've ever done in my entire life. I've always heard good things about Pirates Cove, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's very reasonably priced as well. It's down near Icon Park on International Drive, and loved it. We'll definitely do it again. It was a nice chilled evening. It was probably one of our favourite evenings actually. It was away from all the parks. We went there and then went down to Miller's Ale House for dinner afterwards, and it was just a really nice family night. Really cool. We also went to Mall at Manila for some shopping. We all know I love Bath and Body Works, so we had to go there, and to Cheesecake Factory, which is in the mall as well. Love that so much. We went to Walmart and Target as well. I felt a little bit underwhelmed with Target this time. I think because we had some specific things in mind that we wanted to buy, and they didn't have any of them. Mainly like some Ryan's World kids toys Paisley had been seeing on YouTube, and the kids on kids YouTube were like, we got it from Target, and so she obviously wanted to go there, but yeah, they didn't have anything we wanted, so that was a shame. Walmart, so good. I love looking around at all the American snacks and candy and stocking up for the trip. We tend to do that at the start of a trip, mainly to get waters, because you can get like a massive crate of 24, 30 odd waters for like less than $5. And something we did find this time in all of the parks, a bottle of water was like $5, which as it stands currently, like, or when we were there, is just like under £5, which is outrageous. So we would buy a crate of water and just shove a load in the backpack. You can take them in the parks. Apart from SeaWorld and Discovery Cove food and drink is included. SeaWorld, you can't actually take your own food and drink in at all, which is something we learn and is very different to Disney and Universal, where it is perfectly acceptable to do that. Speaking of food, some of our favourite food of the trip was at Bubba Gump's, which is on City Walk at Universal. It's one of those restaurants that you think of City Walk and you think, oh yeah, it's like a standard one, everybody knows it, everyone's been there. We'd never been, so we decided to try it one night. We didn't have a reservation, managed to get a walk-in, which is quite good. At City Walk they can put your name down, you get a buzzer. Bear that in mind if you don't have your reservations. You can reserve the restaurants earlier. There's a little booth in City Walk where you can pick out any of the restaurants and get a time to go back. But yeah, we were able to get a table at peak time, which was after the Mardi Gras parade finished and the park closed up. That food was really good. The service was really good, and it was great value as well. Paisley loved it. She had fish, I had chicken, standard always, and Rob had shrimp, and it was a lovely, lovely family meal. I mentioned Miller's, that was a highlight as well. We really do like Miller's, and the Today Cafe at Universal Studios Park is another favourite as well. The sandwiches there are so good, and it's a bit different to the usual fries and such that you get at the theme parks. In terms of transportation, we used Uber for all of our trip. We didn't rent a car, we didn't use the iTrolley or anything like that. I know what a lot of people tend to do is have an Uber account and a Lyft account and compare the prices for each journey. I'm an Uber girl. I'm a bit of a creature of habit. Like if I use a service and it works, I'll stick to that just because it's what I know and I'm confident using the app. And yeah, I don't know, I just like Uber. It was really reasonable for most of our journeys. So in terms of getting from Cabana Bay to like SeaWorld and Discovery Cove, International Drive, it was usually coming in around $11 approximately for those sorts of journeys. To Disney World, I remember it was about $32 one way and $25 coming back, which was our most expensive park journey. But if you're familiar with Orlando, Universal is one end of the I-4 like motorway, and Disney World is the other. So it's a little drive, probably about 20 minutes, so not too far at all from door to door. And then the airport as well, that was approximately $35 to $40 going there and then going back again, and then obviously you do have to tip as well. But I worked it all out, and the amount that we spent on Ubers on this trip was less than renting a car, and neither of us really are confident enough to or want to drive in Orlando anyway, so that worked really, really well for us. And some of the highlights of the trip, well, mainly the biggest highlight for me was Paisley's age. This has been the first trip where she's not had a stroller or pushchair. She's walked all day, every day. She remembers the parks from previous years. So we got there and she wanted to do certain rides such as Hagrid's, and she was asking to go on things and to try new rides like the Mummy, which she'd never done before. She knew which characters she wanted to meet, and it was just so special. So we were very led by her and what she wanted to do, and it was the first time going where she was like a little mate instead of a smaller child, and it's always been so magical when she's been smaller, but this time it was really cool. I absolutely loved it. Another highlight, as always, was the Mardi Gras parade at Universal. It's amazing. I think I said in the vlogs I actually prefer it to Festival of Fantasy over at the Magic Kingdom because it's just so much fun. Like, they throw beads and everyone catches them. It's so interactive and lovely, and it's just a good time. It's like a party at Mardi Gras. It's so cool. Some of the less positive things that we noticed were the cost of things, like food and drink are expensive out there at the moment. I think I had to buy, was it shampoo or conditioner? One of the two at Walmart. That was insane. Like, it was about $8 for whatever one it was. So, and that's just because I thought, oh, I'll buy it there. It's easier. It'll be a bit less weight in my case, because my cases are jam-packed usually. But yeah, next time I'll be taking my own so I don't have to do that. Something I would recommend is getting the refillable cups in the parks as well. They do them at Universal and at SeaWorld. I can't remember how much it was. I'm really sorry. If I could Google it, I'll pop it on the screen. But I worked out we'd bought a couple of drinks and we'd got, like, we should have bought the cup at SeaWorld because the drinks were $5 each, as I mentioned before. But yeah, things have gone up, so make sure you budget for that. I would recommend personally eating off site because things are just cheaper. Like Miller's, we had such a good meal. Cheesecake Factory, they're all such good value for money and you get so much food, and I'm getting hungry just like thinking about it because it's so good. I love it, and I miss Orlando so much. It's May now. I should really have filmed this vlog when everything was a bit more fresh in my mind when we got back in February, but I just didn't get around to it. And now the vlog series has ended, I kind of wanted something to just wrap it up nicely, put a little bow on it. Thank you guys all for your love and support on the series. It was actually one of my favourite trips ever to date. Like, I've been to Florida quite a lot of times in the last 10 years or so, and this one is definitely up there, probably top 3, if not top. Yeah, we had so much fun. I can't wait to go back later this year on my own to Halloween Horror Nights because I love it. So stick around guys, there'll be loads more fun to come. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. Please let me know if you've enjoyed it by giving us a big thumbs up, leaving us a comment down below, and subscribing if you're not already. Take care everybody, and I'll see you real soon. Bye guys.